Army with another DFF Film Room. This one featuring Zack Kuntz at Old Dominion. I've been reaching out on Twitter looking for some suggestions on who you guys want to see me drop these videos on, and big shout out at FFShaneB on Twitter. He gave me a suggestion for Tank Bigsby and Michael Mayer. I dropped Bigsby yesterday. Mayer's going to be coming out tomorrow, or actually today, whenever you guys are actually watching this video, probably, because they'll be coming out the same day. Also, shout out to Doombot12_FF for the suggestion for Zack Kuntz, the one I'm doing right now. Everybody who's reaching out and giving me suggestions, really appreciate it, and I'm going to try to get these out as fast as possible for you all, so I hope you enjoy. And for this one, I'm doing Zack Kuntz out of Old Dominion. Follow me on Twitter if you want to connect at Beaman DFF, and I'll be doing these all up until and probably past the rookie draft. If you have any guys you want me to look at specifically, reach out and I'll drop a DFF film room. Okay, so let's get going with Zack Kuntz. Let's dive right in. Okay, so we're starting with some game tape against Virginia. So in this first one, we're going to see a nice release with some good twitch at the top of the route here. Boom. Now I think he juggles the ball a little bit there, but he has pretty good hands all around, to be honest with you. See it from the other angle here. Again, he gives you that good little shake right there. Puts the defender on skates, gets open. And he's a pretty good route runner. There's no doubt about it. So I did Zack Kuntz a solid by not showing his blocking reps as the first clip, but I just got to show you what he's going to give you in that regard, and it ain't much, which is what you're going to see here. Now, he does show some good reps here and there, but I do think it's going to prevent him from playing inline so much in the NFL, and definitely going to put him into the big slot and the big outside wide receiver type role. And whiff. So if we see this again, this is him right here. Gonna come across the formation and gonna block, right? No, gonna fall over. Alright, so here's just another example of Zack Kuntz's route running, and I think maybe a little bit lack of bend, but he does have pretty good pacing and quickness through his routes and off the line. You'll see him right here. I just think he kind of labors through some of these movements, and they're not super fluid, right? Not a ton of separation unless it's due to his size. So like I said, he gets the blocking right every once in a while, and here's a pretty good rep of it, I think. This is just a pretty good rep, right? Gets on the guy, keeps him moving. It's really a more technique thing and a size thing. He doesn't have a great base, and he doesn't have a great low center of gravity because he's 6'8". He's a freaking giant. So it's hard for him to get really low on guys. Decent catch from Kuntz here, but I don't really think you see anything special in terms of route running or anything like that. Just gets himself open. Big target. I like to think of Kuntz as a really great mover with really good hands. Here's Kuntz right here. I like to think of him as a good mover with good hands, and you can see that here. Catches the ball in traffic on the sideline. See him again right here. And I think he just puts a really nice move on this guy. He doesn't get targeted. But again, you see that good suddenness here at the stem of the route when he breaks off. Boom, right there. Puts on this nice move right here. Defender can't really stick with him, creates some separation. Pretty good. I do think we could see him get relegated to this kind of slot role in the NFL, which is more like a Gesicki type role because of that lack of blocking ability and just kind of the size and speed combination that he has. I mean, he literally looks like Gesicki the way that he gets set right here. So you're going to see a pretty good catch here, like really, really good catch here, but I just think the route's not super sharp. He doesn't create a ton of separation, but he's enormous, so he can go up there, high point the ball against pretty much any defender. And here we'll see it from this angle, and you see he gives a little shake there at the top, but the route's just not that crisp. Come back here and see it from this angle. Again, I think he just bends it there. Really, really, really great catch, though. Can't take that away from him. Really able to high point that ball there. And I don't think any defender is really going to stop that. Okay, we're going to see Kuntz right here down at the bottom of the screen. And you just see him put on this nice move on this defender here. And this is tape from 2021 where he had a monster season. And just another example of that good suddenness and ability to break off at the stem of the route and create separation right there. And I think that's probably where he creates the most separation, breaking off at the stem of the route or late separation due to his size. Here's Kuntz right here. And just see a really nice catch here on the sideline. Gets nailed. Just good contested catchability there. Here we can see it from the end zone angle of this catch. Good catch on the sideline. Takes the hit. Secures the ball to the ground. I mean, look at his hands right here. These are absolutely above average hands to go up and get this ball downfield, down the seam. Really nice work. Yep, over the head, concentration to look it in. Good stuff. Here's Kuntz right here. So nothing super special on here. Gets himself open, catches the ball. But I do think this play kind of exhibits the lack of yak ability, the yards after catch ability. You don't really see that on any of these plays. I mean, here he catches the ball and just kind of stumbles forward, and you just never really see him with that catch to run transition. Here's a great catch, goes and high points the ball again, but then pretty much falls down. And so I think that's something that's lacking in his game. Now, when looking at tight end prospects and trying to predict which ones are going to make it into that top 5 range, I think a big part of what we like to see, and another great catch where he high points the ball here, is the yards after catch ability. And I just don't think you really see that with Kuntz, and I think that he could get typecasted into that big slot role, kind of like Mike Gesicki, which is useful in some teams and circumstances for fantasy, but it's not really what I want to be chasing at the tight end position. So while I do see some upside here, I do think that he has the ability to succeed in the NFL, to definitely be a good pass catcher, maybe a fantasy producer on a week to week basis here and there as a flex option. But really, I don't see him as a guy that I want to chase in terms of the upside, like a Travis Kelce or a George Kittle or a Mark Andrews, those guys with the elite receiving ability, the great route running, the great blocking, but also that great yak ability, and I just don't see that with him. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm super in love with Zack Kuntz. Obviously, he had a great 40 time at the combine, and he's super athletic for his size, 6'8", 250 or whatever he is, just an absolute mammoth of a human. But for me, when I look at the film, I just think that he's not a super versatile tight end, and he doesn't quite have the fundamentals down the way that I think some other guys in this class do. So for that reason, he graded out around 8th among the tight ends so far, and that's below guys like Darnell Washington, Tucker Kraft, and Will Mallory, and a whole bunch of other guys are in front of him, the Michael Mayers and whatnot. So I do think that he's an interesting player, and again, I do think that he can have some success and production in the NFL. Just I don't think he has quite the upside that some are looking to chase, and that most are looking to chase at the tight end position. So I hope you enjoyed this edition of the DFF Film Room featuring Zack Kuntz. If you like what we're doing at the Dynasty Football Factory YouTube page, please subscribe and follow me on Twitter at WillieBeamanDFF. Peace out, fam.